Scottish leader Humza Yousaf was lauded in Time magazine as a trailblazer, but with yesterday's Scottish election results, he's more of a failblazer.
Failblazer! He's a loser! SNP wipeout possible after seismic Labour by-election win, says Scottish Tory. The Tories getting in on the action here. I love the idea of all the SNP, Nicola Sturgeon, all then wipe out and just all bouncing off those big red bulls and off into oblivion. So this is huge. This is a 20% swing. They're saying if that was followed through on the election day, Labour win 42 seats in Scotland.
Yeah.
SNP would go down to 6. What's interesting in this Telegraph article, because obviously they're going to bring the Tory angle into it somewhat, is that this guy has basically said, oh yeah, part of that was because the Tories voted because they just wanted to get the SNP out, and he's saying, but I'm sure Labour are going to return the favour. Like, all right, well, good luck with that. But the funny thing, I mean, this is obviously it's a big deal for Starmer and for Labour. That level of swing, the people who are upset most are obviously going to be the far left Corbynites crying the most, because they hate him more than anybody. So they're absolutely gutted.
And they probably love the SNP because they've got the radical sort of gender ideology.
Absolutely, and they want all that stuff. They want to destroy the country. But Michael and you know what? The Michael Shanks, the guy who won, he actually left the Labour Party because of the anti-Semitism, and then he rejoined. So I'm happy. This is a good sign. Obviously, I support Labour with caveats. But this obviously is scary for the SNP. But they have been rubbish. Yeah, and Darius, you live in Scotland.
Well, yeah, sometimes. This is like a really rubbish version of Game of Thrones, because they've had the Tories tactically vote to get Labour in, to get out SNP. But yeah, it's a sorry indictment of how SNP are doing, because they're failing the people who live in Scotland on the issues that actually matter.
Yeah.
The issues that actually matter are jobs, housing, immigration, not gender ideology, education, none of this. And they're pushing this narrative. And now average Scots are like, why are you wasting my time on this? This is not what I'm interested in. So this is, we've seen it with Brexit in the past, and this is, for SNP had such a stronghold. For them to lose this seat and in such a large margin, it's a real, it should be a wake-up call to them in the way they're going.
Yeah, and also Humza campaigned pretty vociferously behind this seat, so it falls on his shoulder. It's not like he kept a distance from it, so it really is a kind of referendum on his leadership. So it doesn't look good for him. Anyway.